What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now, before we get started with today's very intriguing video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we're now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of the set, much similar to what I pulled out of my Genesis Impact box that I opened up last year, which is this beautiful Beat Cop from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely incredible as a collector's rare. But with that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 80% of you guys, actually more than that, more than 85% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys aren't even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below. Post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which in a way it kind of ties with today's video, but the question of the day is this: who would you guys consider to be the greatest manager in WWE history? Let me know down in the comments below. And for today's video, speaking of managers, it appears that William Regal is said to be on NXT a lot more often. But why? What plans does WWE have for William Regal in NXT? Well, it just so happens that according to apparently Fightful Select had reported saying that there have been quite a few pitches made over the past few months or so to have Regal become a mentor figure, if you will, for the No Quarter Catch crew, which obviously includes Charlie Dempsey. Excuse me, which includes Charlie Dempsey, Damon Kemp, and of course Miles Bourne. And originally it did have Drew Gulak, but obviously I talked about it in a previous video that there was an altercation with with him and Ronda Rousey, and you guys already know. I already talked about that in a previous video, so check it out if you haven't already. But apparently supposedly that's gonna be the plan. And for those who don't remember or didn't watch it, Charlie Dempsey on on NXT noted that the NQCC needed structure in the aftermath of him losing the NXT Heritage Cup to Tony D'Angelo. And of course, for those who don't know, I actually talked about this years ago. Literally, like I want to say about 3 years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, like right around there. That Charlie Dempsey was going to be a part of NXT UK, and turns out he actually showed up on NXT UK, and he was a part of the faction known as D Familia, which featured him, Tioman, and Rohan Raja. I think is his name. In which the group just dominated. They dominated NXT with an iron fist. Aside from British Strong Style and what was it? I think, oh my god, what were the factions in NXT UK? There was Gallus, there was D Familia, Symbiosis, and British Strong Style. So among those four, D Familia was one of the most intense groups in NXT UK. And then obviously when when NXT UK went down, obviously, Dempsey ended up on NXT. And funny enough, it's true, but for those who don't know, Charlie Dempsey is actually the son of William Regal, and they actually shared the ring for a brief moment earlier this year at Roadblock. After Charlie Dempsey had won the Heritage Cup, where he said that where Charlie said that he would defend the cup better than Regal ever could, which was a pretty funny, savage moment, I will say. But aside from that, the only other time that we saw Regal make an appearance was actually him coming out of Shawn Michaels' office, as Ava was confirmed to be the new general manager of NXT, and as part of which, funny enough, if you guys don't know, William Regal was a part of AEW some time ago, and apparently Tony Khan, is that his name? Tony Khan, yeah. So Tony Khan actually agreed not to trigger a renewal of his AEW contract, which was the reason why Regal was kept off of WWE programming for an entire year, with that period coming to an end back in January of this year. And funny enough, if you guys don't know, William Regal was the GM of NXT for years. 4 years. Until 2021, when he left NXT, when he left WWE and joined AEW, forming and becoming a mentor, if you will, for the group called the Blackpool Combat Club, which I don't know who it consists of. I believe from what I've seen on social media, the BCC consists of Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, and some young gun named Wheeler Yuta, I think is his name. I don't watch AEW. I know that there are a lot of you guys who watch AEW and are asking themselves why I don't watch AEW. It's not my cup of tea. I didn't grow up watching AEW because AEW wasn't around back in the day. TNA was, I will say, but it just isn't my cup of tea. And if I lose subscribers for saying that, that's okay. I don't mind. But that's only one man's opinion. But now he's gonna be be, but now Regal is going to be a mentor for not one, not two, but three young guns in the form of his own son Charlie Dempsey, Damon Kemp, and Miles Bourne, which is going to be interesting to say the very least. But we don't really know what the NQCC is going to have in store for NXT if that does come to pass. Because here's the thing, if it does come to pass and we see Regal become a mentor, if you will, for the No Quarter Catch crew, we're basically gonna be seeing the Blackpool Combat Club all over again, but with a bit of an added twist. And the added twist is the fact that his own son is in the group, and it's pretty much all young guns in this group, and not 3 veterans and a young gun, you know? So honestly, my theory, or rather my thoughts, I think it's a cool idea that it's gonna happen, but I don't really know. I honestly don't know if that is gonna be the plan. But then again, for all we know, we could end up seeing Regal help Ava run NXT, which to me, I think that right there sounds a much more better idea on paper than him becoming a mentor for three young guns. The reason why I say that is because Charlie Dempsey, a lot of people forget that Dempsey has been in the wrestling business for quite some time. In fact, give me a second. Give me 1 second, you guys. In fact, excuse me. In fact, when he had started wrestling all the way back in 2018, at this promotion called All Star Wrestling, when he was known as Joe Bailey, and he was defeated by a man named Tony Spitfire, and he had made multiple appearances in Progress, WXW, Westside Extreme Wrestling, and Evolve. And then of course, and then he had joined New Japan as a young lion, but he never appeared on screen, and he ended up leaving for WWE. But funny enough, he actually returned to Progress Wrestling back in 2022, a couple of years ago, under the name Charlie Dempsey, where he competed in the Super Strong Style 16 tournament, where he defeated Charles Crowley in the first round, but was defeated by Chris Ridgway in the quarter final. So again, he was a part of D Familia alongside Rohan Raja and Tio Man, as I mentioned. Started to feud with one of their first faction feuds was actually against Gallus. So again, Gallus and D Familia were two of the most dominant 3-man factions aside from Imperium of all time, which is incredible. But when you think about this, when you really think about it, Dempsey has had quite a bit of success outside of WWE. So in a way, he's kind of like a veteran in his own right, if you think about it. So the question becomes, which is better? Regal becoming a mentor for the No Quarter Catch crew, or helping Ava run NXT, showing her the ropes and how to become a true GM to NXT. Excuse me. Honestly, both sound pretty good. But there are quite a few pros and cons to both sides. Starting with him becoming a mentor for the NQCC. One of the biggest pros that we can see is at least one of them going on to become NXT champion. That right there is one of the biggest pros you could ever think of for the NQCC, and we might even also see as well the other two members become NXT tag team champions, which is possible, but we could also see one of them as well. Instead of going after the NXT title, they could also go after the Heritage Cup and bring the cup back to the NQCC. But one of the biggest cons, I think, is more a matter of ego. I think the egos of David Camp and Miles Bourne would become so great, it would get to the point where that influence would just rub off on Charlie Dempsey, and they would just kick Regal out of the group, and they would just look at each other like, what do we do now? You know, so it would become so they would end up getting put in squash matches, and eventually they may end up getting released from WWE, which is a very high possibility. Now, as far as the pros and cons of Regal joining Ava, I think one of the biggest pros would have to be showing Ava how to manage NXT to the full extent. Like, show her how to end rivalries, how to start new ones, and all that, and also how to become the greatest NXT general manager of all time, hands down. But the biggest con, I think would have to be, again, in my opinion, would have to be ego. Ava's ego would end up getting so great, Regal would just be like, what's the point of you running NXT if you're gonna have this big of an ego? You know? So they're basically polar opposites of one another, but they both have their own similarities. So it just comes down to what exactly WWE does have in store for Regal. But I think helping Ava run NXT will probably be better. But if they put him with the NQCC, all I gotta say is good luck. Good luck to Charlie Dempsey. You're gonna need it. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.